Our topic today is all about the rooster for 2023. But before we start, I'd like to remind you to not only have one animal, you have four. Your rear represents your network, your friends, your clients, and your colleagues. Your month represents your boss, you, your career, your finances. It represents you and your spouse. And then the hour represents you, your thoughts, rather, your kids, and your investment. All right. So here are the auxiliary stars that we have for the rooster this 2023. The first one is Jade Hall, month emptiness, year breaker, great consumer, obstacle, calamity, sky sadness person, and salty pool. Now, what do they all mean? But before we start, I'd like to remind you, you have your free ebook for the year as additional guide to help you make 2023 a prosperous year. You can actually download through my website. Just put in your email address and you will automatically receive the free ebook. I also have a webinar happening this December. This includes additional information using Kimandura, Pachi, Feng Shui, as well as date selection for important activities that you can do and use all throughout the year. All right. What else? Okay, so that's it. So going back to our main topic, here, let's talk about the Jade Hall, the first auxiliary star. Jade Hall represents increased in value or worth for past investments. So if you haven't invested on anything before, then this won't apply for you. So, but if you have so many investments, then good for you. Most of your investments, if not all, will actually see increased in value this year. Next is month emptiness. This is an auxiliary star that amplifies the effect of the rest of the auxiliary stars for the entire year. Say, for instance, if you have good auxiliary stars, this will 10x the effect. If you have bad auxiliary stars for the year, this will just vice versa. So, year breaker talks about change. All right. Just to give you further information, rooster and rabbit are clashing animals, and when you're going through a clashing year annual basis, this actually indicates that there are going to be some changes within that year. So if for the past year you haven't been enjoying, or it wasn't smooth sailing, then good news for you. There might be some good change happening this year. Now, it's best, however, as an advice, it's best to initiate the change yourself and then allow the universe to make the change for you. So if there are some things that you've been planning, keen on implementing, this is a good year to do that, because this way you'll be able to expect the change. So it won't be as difficult as it should be whenever we're facing any changes. Okay, next is great consumer. Great consumer is all about lack of discipline when it comes to finances. And because of the lack of discipline, what happens is overspending that could lead to bankruptcy. Okay? It's not to scare you, but at least to guide you. So what do we do? You have to really practice, not initiate, but to really practice discipline when it comes to your finances. Make sure you manage every day. If you could, check your numbers every day to help you manage the cashing out, to prevent you from going through any bankruptcy, and avoid getting any loans, especially if you're not sure if you have the capacity to pay. All right. So, right. Okay. So next, calamity siya. This is all about natural disasters. So before traveling, make sure you double check first to avoid getting stranded because of flood or earthquake and so on. So if your place is not frequented with frequented by flood or any there's not much issue when it comes to natural disasters, then basically it's about traveling or where you go to, when you go to work and so on and so forth, that might cause you to experience the calamity. So what do we do before you travel? Before you travel, you check the weather, and there. Okay, weather forecast. Okay, next, sky sadness. Sky sadness, and then we also have prison. Okay, sky sadness indicates that you might suffer some sadness or depression. That is, if your year has rooster, that usually brought by external circumstances. Okay, and then the next is prison. That actually indicates physical, mental, or emotional. It doesn't have to be always jail, but it's a possibility, especially if you're not following the rules and regulations. If you're not abiding by the rule, then this is a possibility. But if you are very obedient and you follow the rules, then basically the prison might indicate emotional prison or a mental prison because of things that are out of your control, that you let it succumb you or you let it envelop you, despite the fact that you have nothing, or despite any effort, there's nothing that you can do. So how do we prevent ourselves from getting enveloped by these circumstances? Is, of course, stop focusing on things that are out of your control. Case in point, politics, the reaction of your friends, the judgment towards you. You can't control them. Stop thinking about it. Okay, meditate and focus on the things that you already have. Say at the end of the day, reflection time is really, really good, especially it's actually been proven that reflection time helps reduce depression. So before the end of the day, before you go to bed, list down the things that you're grateful for that day, every day, okay, so that you can focus on the things that you're grateful than things that you have no control over. Okay? All right. Okay, so next is, that's too long, but I hope it helps. Next is salty pool. Salty pool is a romance star. Okay, traditionally this is a romance star. So if you're single and you're ready to mingle, then basically good news for you. You may have an opportunity to find someone interesting this year. However, if you are already married, this could indicate third party. But we can shift this and use this into something that is productive, especially for our workplace, by using it as your charisma, as your charm. All right. So how do we best maximize it? You go out, mingle, socialize, even the ones that are snobs. Okay, this might be the year that you'll be able to hear an approval or a yes for an approval for something, because your charisma is stronger. You're able to influence others smoothly as compared to previous years. All right, thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. I wish for you to have a productive, wealthy, and healthy 2023.